Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we're really diving into the 2025 innovations from Foresight Golf, specifically their updated GC3 series launch monitors. And this isn't just, about new toys. It's more about Foresight's vision this year for making performance data way more accessible. Pro-level stuff for, well, everyone.
Exactly.
Whether you're maybe a coach looking for better data integration for your lessons, or you're a player really trying to dial in your performance.
Or just curious about the tech.
We're just
Great,
curious,
yeah.
Look at Foresight's latest lineup. It's got something pretty significant for, I think, all those groups. Okay, so what's the plan? We're going to unpack the three updated models. There's the LPI used to be the Launch Pro,
Right.
the GC3S, and the Classic GC3. And honestly, there are some really cool new integrations and features Foresight's rolling out. The big theme seems to be making powerful data easy to use, directly usable.
Spot on. User-friendly and applicable.
Okay, let's kick things off with the newly named LPI.
Right, the LPI. Launch Pro Indoor. That name change itself tells you a lot, doesn't it? It signals a real focus. They've clearly defined its role as a dedicated indoor unit.
And the design changed. They took some things away.
Yeah, the most obvious change is they've removed the screen and the battery. Strategically removed them, I'd say.
Which, okay, might make you think, what's missing? But it sounds like it's more about making it lighter, more streamlined for that indoor setup.
Exactly. But here's the crucial part, the core tech. It's identical to the other GC3 models. Big camera system, same processing, same lenses that, the GC3 series is known for. So you're not losing any of that Foresight accuracy. That's vital.
Got it. So same performance engine, just in a more specific package.
Precisely. And the thinking behind it is pretty logical for indoor use, right? Most indoor bays, simulators, they already have projectors or big screens.
Sure, the built-in screen becomes a bit redundant then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Foresight isn't just like stripping features randomly. They're removing something that's often unnecessary in that specific environment. It simplifies the unit but keeps the performance core intact.
Makes sense. And how about software? Does it come with everything?
Well, the LPI is sold as a standalone unit, hardware-wise, but it includes full access to all the FSX software tools via a yearly subscription, and the first year's included in the price.
Okay, so you get the full analysis suite right away.
You do, but, and this is really interesting, especially if you're into swing analysis,
Yeah.
Foresight launch monitors are now the only ones that offer complete integration with Sportsbox AI 3D software.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's big. The only ones.
The only ones where you can directly integrate the ball flight data launch angle, spin, all that directly with the 3D swing model inside Sportsbox, both mobile and studio versions.
Okay, so hold on. You're saying I can see my, 3D avatar swinging and simultaneously see the actual launch numbers produced by that specific swing all in one place.
Exactly. That's the breakthrough. You see precisely how your club delivery, your movements, translate into launch conditions, in real time, synchronized.
That closes a huge loop, doesn't it? Connects the how of the swing with the what of the ball flight instantly.
It collapses the guesswork. If you want that seamless merge, that fluid connection between the 3D body movement and the resulting ball data within Sportsbox AI, Foresight's the key. It's a genuine game changer for understanding cause and effect.
All right, very cool. Let's shift gears then. What about the middle option, the GC3S?
Okay, the GC3S, the S we believe stands for subscription. And this one, it definitely stands out visually. It's got this new Malibu Blue color.
Ah, nice. Easy to spot in a sim bay, I guess.
Yeah, it makes it immediately identifiable. And, like the LPI, built on that same reliable GC3 platform. The core tech is consistent.
But it must have something extra, right? The S suggests maybe more features tied to a sub.
It does. The GC3S introduces another really compelling element. It comes bundled with a Bushnell Pro X3 Link rangefinder.
Ah, the Bushnell connection. Makes sense, since they're sister companies.
Exactly. And this is where their link-enabled technology really comes into play. It's this synergy between Foresight data capture and Bushnell's on-course tech.
Okay, link-enabled technology. Let's unpack that. What does it actually do for the golfer?
So at the heart of it is something called the My Bag assessment. And this is all done right inside the Foresight app, not separate software.
Okay.
You go in, you enter the 13 clubs you actually carry in your bag. Then for each club, you hit, say, 3 to 15 shots. Just hit them normally.
And the GC3S is capturing the data for each shot.
Yeah.
It's recording your typical carry yardage for that club, obviously. But also, crucially, the size of your dispersion circle. How tightly grouped your shots are.
Right. Like, am I hitting it in a tight circle or is it all over the place?
Exactly. And it also tracks your common offline tendencies.
Ugh.
Do you tend to miss left?
Right.
By how much?
Okay, so it builds a real profile for each club.
A detailed profile.
Hmm.
And from all that data, the app automatically works out your gapping. Shows you clearly the yardage gaps between each club.
That's useful in itself, but where does the link part come in?
Right. So this personalized My Bag data, it can securely upload it to the cloud. And this is where Bushnell Golf taps into it. They pull that data directly into their ecosystem.
Ah, okay. So the Foresight data feeds the Bushnell tools. How does that help me when I'm actually playing golf?
This is the really cool part. Two key ways your practice data becomes actionable on the course. First, in the Bushnell app, when you're using its on-course GPS mode,
Yeah.
it can overlay your personal dispersion patterns onto the actual hole you're playing.
Whoa, seriously. So I can see on the map where my typical 7-iron shot pattern lands on the specific fairway or green, based on my actual tendencies.
Precisely. Imagine looking at a tough par 4 and seeing visually where your usual miss with the driver might end up. It adds a whole new layer of strategy, right? Based on your data, not just averages.
That's huge for course management. It's not just knowing your distance, but understanding your probable outcome.
Spot on. And the second big application is through Bushnell's Bluetooth rangefinders.
Yeah.
The Pro X3, Pro X3 Plus, and the Pro X3 Link that comes with the GC3S.
Okay, so the rangefinder itself gets smarter.
Yes. Because it has your My Bag data, it can give you real-time club recommendations.
Like a caddy.
Kind of like a digital caddy. It suggests a club based on the distance, but also factors in your personal yardages and adjusts for temperature, barometric pressure, slope.
Wow.
And the Pro X3 Plus model even factors in wind for its recommendation.
So it's a personalized, data-driven club suggestion right there in your hand, accounting for conditions. That's pretty powerful and sounds really easy to use.
It really is. I've had a chance to play around with it, and it's surprisingly intuitive. The app visuals are clear, the data feels right, feels like your game, and it just works.
Yeah.
It genuinely bridges that gap between practice data and on-course decision-making.
Very impressive stuff. Okay, so that covers the LPI and the GC3S. What about the original, the classic GC3? Is it still around?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The classic GC3 is still very much part of the lineup. It's the model many golfers know and trust for its reliable performance.
And internally, same tech as the others we've discussed?
Same core engine, yes. Consistent accuracy. The difference now is really in the packaging and what it comes with.
Okay, so how is it being offered in 2025?
Foresight is now bundling the classic GC3 as more of a premium, complete package. It comes standard with a Bushnell rangefinder and also a branded Foresight golf bag.
Ah, so it's like the all-in-one non-subscription premium Foresight setup right out of the box.
Exactly. For someone who wants that full Foresight experience, the proven GC3 performance plus the extras without going the subscription route of the GC3S.
Got it. So across the whole updated GC3 series, it feels like they're offering different paths, different bundles, different ways to access that core Foresight tech, catering to different needs.
That seems to be the strategy, yeah. More flexibility, different price points, and feature sets.
And you mentioned earlier, it's not just hardware. There are software updates coming too.
Yes, we got a little preview of that. Starting this summer 2025, Foresight is planning to roll out some major updates to their software and apps.
Focused on what mainly?
The focus seems to be heavily on improving the user experience, making things, easier to navigate, finding smarter ways to visualize all the data you're capturing, and generally streamlining the workflows for both coaches using it with students and for individual players just analyzing their own game, making it faster and more intuitive to get insights.
And anything further down the line?
Yeah, the really intriguing bit is they mentioned they're working on a completely new software platform that's expected maybe 11 months or so after those initial summer updates hit.
Okay, so a big evolution coming to their digital side too. They're not standing still there either.
Definitely not. It shows a real commitment to enhancing that whole ecosystem around the hardware.
All right, so let's try and sort of wrap this up. What are the main takeaways for someone listening? What's the big picture from Foresight in 2025?
Well, I think there are a few key things. First, Foresight is clearly making a push for broader accessibility, using things like subscription models, like with the LPI and GC3S, to potentially lower the initial barrier to entry for their tech.
Right, making it reachable for more people.
Second, the power of integration is huge here. That Sportsbox AI link is, I think, unique and incredibly valuable for swing analysis. And the Bushnell integration for the GC3S really connects range practice to on-course strategy in a practical way.
That link between practice and play seems crucial.
It really is. And finally, running through all of this is that clear focus on the user experience, making these complex tools easier to understand and, more importantly, easier to use effectively, whether you're coaching or just trying to lower your handicap.
Absolutely. So for the listener, it means potentially more choice in how they access this level of data, richer insights because of how the data connects, and tools that are hopefully just, well, better and easier to work with for coaching, for playing more effectively.
Well said. More customization, better insights, better tools.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening to ponder. How could this level of data integration, especially that connection between your launch monitor numbers and your actual on-course decisions via something like the Bushnell link, how could that fundamentally change how you practice or how you approach strategy out on the course? Which of these updates really clicks with what you're trying to achieve in your golf game or maybe your coaching?
Yeah, this is definitely something to think about. Which piece of this puzzle fits best for your own goals?
Food for thought indeed. Thanks for walking us through all that.
My pleasure. Always interesting to see where the tech is heading.